And I think that's an area that we should focus on, because our kids need it.
Right.
Right here in Central Louisiana, our kids need to know that they are loved and that we appreciate them, we believe in them, we encourage them, and we'll do whatever it takes to see them succeed.
Exactly. And folks, look, if you've been listening to Mel and what we've been talking about here, okay, and like I said, Mel, he's like the owner of, Bucket Getters Association. So I invite you, if you are looking for a mentor for your kids, to really look him up. They're on social media. Just really reach out. And, before we leave for the day, I'm definitely going to have him to give his information and everything again so you can actually get in contact with him. But, the thing is with these kids and, as far as like being a parent, sometimes you just have to just step up, okay? It's just not any more complicated than that. It's just a matter of, like we've said, figuring out what's actually important in your life. And like I said, and prioritize, especially for those that, are saved out there, may not be saved. But hey, this is your priority. You put God first. You put your spouse, if you are married, next. And if you're not married, then guess what? That's God still going to be first. And then what's the next thing? If you have children, your children immediately follow right after that. It's not your video games. It's not hanging out with the boys or going on shopping sprees with the girls or whatever it is. You really need to find that proper balance in life. And I'm just going to say it right now, even with church members out there, okay? Church doesn't even come before your kids. And yeah, I'm going to get some dirty things on social media about that, but look, church even comes after, your family needs, because God even let us know, how can a man rule over the things of God when he can't even rule over his own house well, paraphrasing, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
So what's really significant is that, we want to make sure that we're not trying to put anyone down with this, but we're trying to bring a light to something that's been missing, in the community and in Central Louisiana. And, when we come back from break, we're going to keep on tearing it up. And folks, you're in your moment right now. In the moment with Cortia Kuzan. Hey, we've been talking about mentoring with our special guest, Mel Smith of Bucket Getters Association. Amen. Mel, give a shout out.
Yes. In the building.
Hallelujah. Folks, let me go ahead and let you know to call in and connect with us. You can reach us at our local number, 318-484-2500. And at our toll-free number, 877-464-2500. And again, you can reach out to In the Moment with Cortia Kuzan all across social media. And go to our website, same, In the Moment with CortiaKuzan.com. And like I said, folks, this is like going to be not unlike any other radio show, where I've got free gifts for you folks on there to actually help you in your professional and personal lives. But let's get back to the program here. Hey, like I said, we're talking about mentoring, and we've been diving into some really hot subject matter with Mel here. And like I said, God gave us the whole revelation of how what he's doing is really not only impacting the children, but it's really, giving an example to a lot of parents out there that may have been struggling in the area of, hey, why is it that I'm struggling so much in being a parent? What could I do to actually reach my child? And, Mel, is actually, like I said, it's showing them what's necessary to, apply that discipline, apply that love, showing them how to be a friend, and showing them all the different dynamics to where they don't have to be, as the expression says, a one-trick pony when it comes to their kids.
Right. That's on the simplest form, just on the simplest form, a lot of what we hear today is, this is a lost generation. This is a lost generation. Nobody want to take the time out to kind of see what's going on or why we even call it generation lost.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of, it seems like a big problem. It seems like a major problem, but like I spoke on yesterday, I feel like simple solutions fix major problems, so if this is a lost generation, well, it's our duty to kind of go back and see where the generation was lost at, let's go see where they was lost at, and let's just pick back up from there and start back and getting them on the right track, and I believe that is fixed with, like you said, simple solutions, just getting back to what's important from a foundation standpoint,
Amen, amen.
Yes, sir.
And you know what, the Lord just dropped another nugget in my spirit, and just let me know that how so many people are talking about this lost generation, just how Mel just touched on. And God, I tell you what, sometimes God will just blow your mind on
Yes,
the
He
spot.
will. Yes,
And
He
now he's
will.
talking about, yeah, they're saying a lost generation, but people are saying lost generation due to adults not having found their own individual approach to reaching this so-called lost generation.
Right.
So what a lot of people are doing is that, hey, I have no idea how to actually reach these kids, reach these young adults, reach these individuals that are on the street. So, a lot of people, just to have peace of mind, basically they're pretty much just classifying them in a category of, hey, they're lost.
Right,
Almost
right.
giving them that thing of where they don't have to feel anything for what they see
Right.
that's going on or have any input. Basically, it's a self-imposed escape clause to not be able to do
It is.
anything.
It is. Yes, sir. And it's just, like you said, it's just an excuse to kind of, continue being in a selfish mindset, and if you're coming from a mindset like that, then the generation will stay lost, and the generation after that would be lost, because no one would be there to teach them, but that's unfair to them, and that's selfish of us, because the generation before us didn't leave us to fend for ourselves.
Exactly.
That's where it came in, where it takes a community or it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
That's still very much true, and it doesn't take permission to do that. If you see a need and you can feel that need, you step into it and you fill that void. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to be able to tell you what to do. If you know who you are and you know what your purpose is, you should be confident in that, and you should walk in it every day.
Did you get that? Did you get that? Did you get that?
Yes, sir. It shouldn't be something you cut on and cut off. When I wake up in the morning, I'm a coach. I'm a trainer.
Yes.
I'm a mentor. When I go to bed at night, I'm still the same thing, amongst other things. It's not something you should cut on and cut off. You should be that same way, and you should start growing more into your purpose and who you are, and then in turn you find, where God wants you to plug in at, and you start to chip away, because it's a battle we fight. Overall, it's a war, but war is made up of battles, and
yes,
each of us have to figure out where we're called to serve at, and we have to start fighting in that role, because that's what it is. It's a fight. It's a fight.
Exactly. And folks, at how Mel was just talking about, yeah, we everyone has oppositions on some form or fashion or on some level. Everyone has, opposition. But the thing is that, definitely what I've realized is that how you respond to that opposition is going to be the determining factor on how, not only your day, your week, your month, but your entire life is going to progress, okay? And if you gotten into a situation to where the slightest little bit of opposition comes, in your life, whether you are like a young adult, child, and just to let you know, our children, they look at our lives, and that's what sets the standard in their lives for how they should react to certain situations.
Yes,
so if you as an adult are frantic in front of children or children that you have influence over, then guess what? Your children are going to respond in a way where they're going to be frantic to things.
They're going to pick it up. I mean, when you think about a child, when he or she is young, they have no sense of time. Mm-hmm. They have no sense of pain, hurt, anger, none of that.
Those were the days.
Right. It's just joy. It's just, it's just peace. It's fun. It's just complete, dependency on something outside of themselves. Once we start to put the pressure on kids and they start to feel it, then they start feeling like they have to perform, or they have to achieve, or they have to win some type of approval. They're seeking approval, when it shouldn't be that way.
Exactly.
And so those are some of the things we try to eliminate at Camp Bucket Getters. We try to just allow the kids to come in and be free, have fun,
That's good.
Make friends, express yourself. If there's something you want to say, something you want to do, we give the kids free reign to do that, all while being, supervised and having structure and discipline, but we allow them to just be themselves,
Yes.
Come in for however long it is. We do day camps where we're there all day. We do after school. We have an after school program where they're only there a couple hours, but in those couple hours, this is an escape for the kid.
Yes.
Come in and just be free. Just have fun. Just let your hair down, so to speak,
Feeling like it's the ultimate safe zone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I like
Yes,
that.
sir.
I like that. And you know something, folks, whether you realize it or not, I want you to just really take a step back and look at this and hear exactly what I'm talking about here, okay? To where literally we as a society, or should I say society as a whole is not structured to actually bring out the potential in the individual.
Right.
Society is actually structured to actually get you in the mode of being an adverse way of competition to actually, hey, for you to get to where you want to go, you may just have to put your foot on the back of somebody's neck to get there. It doesn't,
especially in our community.
Exactly. Hey, that's exactly it. Like I said, we're just being real with it. I got a young African-American male here that's actually making an impact. I'm an African-American male. And, you know, we just said, okay, it's basically why is it that our culture, and we're not just saying it's just ours, but predominantly you see it every single day. Why is it that so many of us are geared towards trying to put each other down? Okay, when, you know, Mel just brought it out, and I was going into the point of what have you ever thought? Okay, have you ever thought that to get to where you want to get to, help someone else with their dream, help someone else with what they're doing, and then you'll be elevated in the process? I mean, right now, proof point. This is evident. You're listening to me on the mic. You're listening to Mel on the mic. But guess what? This was not my first choice. Was not my dream. But because of something someone else saw,
right,
and because God confirmed it,
right,
and how you say with giftings and everything, right, now I'm able to flow into it. As my wife would say, well, you talk a lot anyway. You have a big mouth, so why not put it to use? Yeah. So, you know, and then as I said before, as God has given me this platform to be a blessing to my family, it would be criminal for me not to actually identify individuals that this platform will be a blessing to. And that's why Mel is here. And that's what it's all about, people. Help one, you know, and be able to go ahead and reach another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what it's about, you know. And like you say, you got to come to from a humble standpoint, you know, to where you, like you say, you're sensitive to God in that area, and you're able to, you know, hear from Him clearly on what direction to take or how to take it, when to take it. You know, all those things are important. But it comes from, like you say, from being humble. You have to be willing to be taught. You know,
yes.
Before you can lead, you have to follow. You know, and that's very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mel, right before, I know we're about to go into another break, so why don't you give them like a little contact information before we go into break?
You can reach us on Facebook at Bucket Getters Association. You can reach us on Instagram at BGA_2019. We're on Snapchat at Camp Bucket Getters. And all hashtags are BGA318. And we're, of course, we're located at the YWCA on Turner Street in Alexandria, Louisiana.
You have a phone number for them?
Yes, sir. You can reach us at 318-664-9067 or 318-445-8880.
Awesome, awesome. All right, folks, I hope you're writing that down and you got that and you're tuning it into your spirits. And we'll be right back. But guess what, folks? You're in your moment. Welcome back to In the Moment with Courtier Kuzan. Hey, I have my co-host in here today, Mel Smith,
yes, sir. Yes,
of
sir.
Bucket Getters Association. We're doing some really big things up in here, touching on that subject matter of mentoring. I tell you, it's been awesome. It's been really hot up in here as far as like the material that's being shared. But you know something, folks? With all the mentorship and everything that Mel and his organization is actually doing and how God's working through them, hey, we know at times all the other doorways can be open to, you know, provide an opportunity for people to be a blessing unto Mel. You know, Mel, I mean, what type of things or what type of events are you doing with these kids to where, you know, you may need a little assistance?
Okay, well, we're providing a lot of tools that we feel like are necessary for these kids to kind of, you know, continue succeeding. You know, we want to be able to give them every avenue that they need, you know, whether that's tutoring. You know, we've added a lot of different activities to the program. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not just basketball. You know, we're looking to grow and expand that as well to other sports. So we're kind of looking for, you know, coaches in other areas such as baseball, softball, volleyball, you know, other coaches to come in and get involved. You know, we even spoke to yoga instructors, you know, to kind of give kids that balance and stuff mm-hmm. like that. We have different speakers come in as well, who are in different professions, to come in and kind of speak to kids about growing up and playing sports, and the things they learned and the things they used while playing sports, the connections they made, the friendships they made, and how they still have those same, qualities and characteristics now that they're applying to their professional life.
Yes.
So we provide that for them as well. We had a group, our last youth basketball league at the Y. We took that big group to the women's basketball game at LSUA. The kids and the parents. We had a great time. We had a good turnout. They were able to get on the court at halftime and receive their participation trophies and things like that.
That's awesome.
So we have things like that we have in our heart to do. We're looking at connecting with someone in the Pelicans organization. We've been in talks with them, try to get them down there to a game. We want to take them to LSU games, University of Lafayette games. We kind of just want to give them a platform and help expose them, to go see where they're trying to be.
Yes.
We think that's very important for the child's vision. If they can see, if you can see it, you can believe it.
That's it.
They get that in their mind, and then they can go for that. So we take them to a lot of high school games. Eventually, like I said, we want to get taking them to college games and professional games as well.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
And look, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there because, all the things that he just spoke of, the things that, they do with the kids and how they promote the events. And, just as scripturally, a man without a vision, will perish. But the thing is this, okay? To continue to maintain that vision, to continue to actually help these kids. Guess what, folks? They need resources, okay? They need some backing. So, if you want to actually get in contact with Mel and send a check, I don't care if, like we used to call it back in the day, if you got a knot in your pocket and you want to get it out of there,
yes,
hey, send that knot on in, okay? Yeah. If you have a van that you want to donate, and I'm not talking beat down, broken down, where they have to try to find money to repair the van. I'm talking, next to new type transportation, because we're talking about the safety not only of the adults, but even probably more so of these children as they're going to and fro up those dangerous highways. So look, we're looking for all the resources necessary that are out there to be a blessing unto Mel Smith and the Bucket Getters Association. Okay, this is real deal. This is real deal here. Okay, this is not a fly-by-night organization. This is an organization that's making a major impact in the community throughout central Louisiana. And guess what? It's going to expand beyond central Louisiana, whether some people want it to or they don't want it to. But look, God's hand is in this thing, okay? So no one can stop what God's hand is on. So I'm just going to put that out there. So whether you want to be a part of it or not, guess what? God's still going to add the progression and be a blessing unto it. Yes, so sir. I just wanted to go ahead and Mel didn't ask me to do a plug like that, but guess what? I just felt that it was necessary to go ahead and do that plug because, hey, any and every time you have an opportunity to sow some seed into some fertile ground, hey, you just better go ahead and take it. And so you might say, well, what's your seed? Hey, my seed, as I told Mel, when God prompted me to actually touch him on the shoulder about this radio program, and guess what? This isn't going to be the last time you hear Mel on the airways. I'm just going to let you know that. And I'm just waiting for God to actually reveal to me how he wants this to actually happen, in the moment, okay? So, Mel, I tell you, this is like really near and dear, as I've said before, and I already know what it is to you. I mean, what other things that you actually really want to point out as far as like, your Bucket Getters Association?
We want to, besides, all the things that we're doing for these kids and helping these kids, we actually want to point out the fact that we are creating bucket getters.
Yes.
I don't want that to get lost. Like, when I played basketball, I've strived to be the best. Mm-hmm. Anywhere I went, anywhere I played, when I got on the court, I wanted to be the best. And and when the game was in the hanging in the balance, and it came down to winning or losing, my coach would always tell me, Mel, get a bucket. Go get a bucket. This is the time. We're not calling no plays. We don't have no special tricks and nothing like that. Put the ball in the hands of the best player, and Mel go get a bucket. So that's what I want people to understand, that we are very much in the business of creating bucket getters. From every aspect, from the competition level you know, to the defensive level, to the mentality, to the mindset, to the knowledge. You know, we're giving these kids what they need both on and off the court. You know, I don't want it to get lost on what we're doing on the court as well. You know, so that's very important, and that's very much a part of our foundation of who we are. You know, when you go to those basketball games and you see those kids playing, you know, and you see, you know, it's a time at the game where something needs to happen, you know, don't be afraid to holler out to the kid to get a bucket, you know, and that's why we feel like in order for that kid to become that person, that bucket getter, he has to put in that work. You know, he has to gain that knowledge and that skill and that development. So that's a big part of what we do as well.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And I'm listening to you, and yet, you know, how God's doing it again. So I mean,
don't stop.
And it's like I'm listening to Mel, and I mean that's just got a really good flow that's happening over here with us, and really that as he was saying that about bucket getters, and you know, coach coming up to him and letting him know that hey, we just need Mel, we need those points. What really just got dropped into my spirit is actually this: when you're actually stressing this to the kids, okay. And, you know, like I said, I love how God just breaks this down. It's literally growing up kids to be bucket getters in their family so they can actually be in that clutch situation to change what's going on in their family.
That's amazing.
Right at their appointed time.
That's amazing.
I mean, he
That's
just
amazing.
dropped that stone cold hard in my spirit. And I was just like, man. So it's like, even though God has given you the vision to go forth and do what you're doing, and the associates and people that are working with you, man, I tell you what, the impact that you guys are having are like not just in an immediate sense, but I mean, you guys are literally in the position to change the course of not only a community, but you know, this so-called quote unquote lost generation as a whole. And it's happening with, let's just be real with it, with most people in this country, okay, most people in this country and a lot of times around the world think are the people that are privileged much on the lowest portion of the total pole, you know, which let's just be real as far as like African Americans, just because of what they see on television and movies and different things of that sort. But you know, everyone is on equal footing when it comes to, you know, God. But you know, the thing with that is, you're only going to know you're on equal footing until you actually change your entire mental outlook about who you are. And that's what you're doing with these kids.
And that's why it's so important that, like you say, we get the resources, but we get the right resources.
Yes.
You know, the right people who want to be involved. You know, because if it's for the wrong reasons,
not a soapbox.
It's not going to line up with our vision anyway.
Right.
You know, and God is going to weed that out. You know, and so we really are in the, I like to say we're in the mud. You know, we're not
being in the mud can be in your moment.
Right. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do, because you have to reach and connect with these kids, you know, and like you say, instill that in them. But before we can do that, there's a lot of things that has to be uprooted up out of them, you know. So that's why it's so important that we kind of, you know, get on the personal level with these kids, so we're able to take out the things that's not supposed to be in them, so that we can put the things that they need to be in them. You know, it's hard to fill up a glass that's already filled. You know, we have to get all that bad, you know, water out of there and then fill it up with good water.
There you go.
So
that high quality living water.
Yes, sir.
Folks, and we thank you so much for tuning in today. I tell you what, it's been jam-packed. I mean, it's been awesome. And Mel, look, before we sign off for the day, why don't you go ahead and give that contact information one more time, please?
Okay, you can definitely reach us and connect with us on Facebook. We're on the Bucket Getters Association. Instagram is BGA_2019. Snapchat is Camp Bucket Getters 318. All hashtags are BGA318. You can reach us at 318-664-9067, or you can reach us at 318-445-8880. And our email is campbucketgetters, all one word with an S, at yahoo.com.
You heard it, folks. Now, you don't have any excuses how not to be a blessing unto the Bucket Getters Association. And, folks, it's been a joy and a privilege on this day. And take everything you've gleaned on this mentoring segment, because guess what? It's going to carry you over as you go forward in your moment. Take care.